Today you will need some sort of strap, and it needs to be long. So a scarf or a belt will also work, but a small towel probably won't. But a nice long strap, and then either a tennis ball, or if you got something, a massage ball that you like, you could use that as well. This is a lacrosse ball. I got a set of them on Amazon, or you can get tennis balls. But if you can just grab something similar in size, similar in give, that would be great. So we're going to just have those available. And then let's just take the strap and unravel it if you have it rolled. And we'll just lay it in front of you like that. Okay. And then we're just going to sit up nice and tall. Relax the shoulders. Close your eyes. We're going to let the chin point slightly down. And make sure, if you want to be comfortable, you're sitting maybe up on some blankets or something, a cushion, just because we're going to be here for a little bit and you want to be as comfortable as possible. So I like to make sure that my knees are below my hips, because that helps with it being a little more comfortable. If my knees are way up here, it causes rounding in the back, and it can be a little difficult to get that moving up top. So again, we're just going to close the eyes, relax the shoulders. Start to focus on the breath. And see if you can soften the shoulders a little bit more, noticing if any of them are just gripping a little bit. And then lengthening the back of the neck. So we're just pressing the back of the head back as we pull the chin down slightly. I'm going to let the head hang down. And interlace the fingers, place the hands on the back of the head if you want to. A nice stretch. Good. Release the hands down. And just roll the head over to one side, back to center, and over to the other. Good. A couple more, just rotating the head. To one side, center, and then the other. Good. Nice. And the next time we find ourselves on the right side, we're going to stay there. We're just going to let the head be here. The left elbow is pulling down. Maybe reach it out. Or you could take that arm behind you and you can just grab the wrist and pull. Good. And then we're going to rotate the chin down toward the mat. Good. Release the arms. Bring the chin up. Let's rotate that head a couple of times. So if you want to go all the way around, you could. If you want to stay in the front, you can. Do what feels good to you. And the next time we find ourselves on the other side, we're going to stay right there. Stretching through the neck, reach the right arm out. Maybe take that arm behind you, grab the wrist. Nice. Let's drop the chin down. Good. And release. Bring the chin up. Let's bring the head up to center. Nice. One more time. Drop the head down to the chest so we can be even. Soften the shoulders. And then bring that head up to center. Good. So we're going to roll the shoulders a few times. Lift them up, pull them back, drop them down. Up, back, and down. Good. Just a few more. Up, back, and down. Up, back, and down. Good. We're just moving the shoulders to warm them up. Good. Nice. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. One more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Let's reach the arms back up. We're going to pull them a little behind the ears. Good. So we're just reaching the arms back just to open the chest. Nice. You could bring the hands behind your head, pull the elbows back for a little more stretch. Good. And release. Nice. Let's reach the arms wide. So we're reaching them wide, but now we're trying to pull them back behind you, like you're trying to touch the tops of your hands together behind you. They might not touch, or hopefully they won't, because that would be weird. Good. Now we're going to bring your hands together in front of you and round. So we're sliding the shoulder blades away from each other and rounding, and then coming up, reaching those arms back as far as they will go. Good. Let's round. Bring the hands together. Press the fingertips forward. Good. One more time. Reaching back and rounding. Good. Breathe. Always breathe. Nice. Now we're going to reach the arms straight out to the sides. Let's bring your right arm across your chest. Grab the elbow. Breathe. Good. Release. Let's do the other side. Across the chest. Hopefully I'm not muffling my microphone. And release. Good. Shake it out. Okay, so we're going to grab this strap here. So if you have a strap or a belt, just make sure the buckle is in your hand because you don't want it to be flopping around. And then we're going to bring your arms out. So you can bring your arms out as wide as you need to. You want the belt to be like tight, so not too loose. And then we're gonna you could bring your hands pretty close together depending on how open your shoulders are, or further apart depending on that. So we're gonna bring the arms up and back. So if you have to slide your hands apart to get it back, that's okay. Up and forward. Inhale up, exhale back. Inhale up, exhale forward. Good. A couple more. Inhale up, exhale back. Inhale up, exhale forward. Good. One more time. Inhale up, inhale back. Inhale up, exhale forward. Good. Let's set it down. Shake it out. Good. So let's just do one more little side bend. We're going to walk your right hand out to the right, reach over. Good. So reach through the fingertips, pull the shoulder down. So we're making that space between the ear and the shoulder. Good. Let's rotate the chest toward the ceiling. Maybe take the gaze up. Breathe. Nice. Coming up to center. Walking the hand over to the other side. Reaching up and over. Good. Pull that shoulder back. See how much space we can make around the head. Nice. Turning the chest toward the ceiling, taking the gaze up. Breathe. Nice. Good. Coming up to center. Good. So we're going to grab the ball and come onto your back. So we're going to just set whatever you're sitting on aside, coming onto your back. So this can be a little bit awkward with the ball, but it takes some practice. So if you've done this a lot before, it'll be easy. If you haven't, it might be a little bit of trial and error. So today's your first trial and error session. So we're going to do our first spot, and that is going to be between the shoulder blade and your spine. There's a spot right in there that you want to get your ball. So we're just going to put it underneath you, and you don't want it right on the shoulder blade. You don't want it right on the spine, right in the center. And you can pick whichever side is easiest for you to do right now. And the first thing I do is just put it there, because sometimes that hurts, like a lot. You have trouble softening the shoulder on that side. So your work here is just to try to relax the shoulder. And now if that is a piece of cake, if that's all you can do right now, that's all you do. If that's a piece of cake, then we're going to bring your elbow out to the side. You can just bring the arm straight out. And then you feel that for a moment, and then ask yourself, is that easy? Now, if that's easy, you can move your shoulder a little bit and move the ball. You can move the hips and the shoulder and just let the ball move a little into the spot. So you don't need to move. You don't need to bring your arm out on your first day. You could just lay still and try to soften the shoulder. And the key here is to keep softening. So if you bring your arm out and the shoulder is very tense, then all you're doing is relaxing the shoulder. If the shoulder relaxes, then you can move a little up and down in this spot. Good. Okay, now we're going to take the ball out from underneath you now. And we're going to do a second spot. And that was your rhomboids. Now we're going to go into your trapezius. So what we're going to do is take the ball and you're going to tuck it in. So you're just tucking it in here. So as we're laying down, we just tuck it in. So do the same side you started with. And first you tuck it in enough that the ball doesn't roll out. So if you roll onto it and the ball comes out, you just tuck it in a little bit more. And then we're going to bring the arm down by your side again. Now, if that really hurts, you just keep your arm there and try to relax your shoulder. If that feels pretty okay, bring your arm out to the side. And then maybe move around. So you can move the shoulder. You can move your upper back a little bit. And I find for me, going a little bit close to the spine, I find some interesting, meaning hurty places. And moving out toward the shoulder a little bit. You're staying in the meaty part of your back though, that I'll find some knots there. So we're just seeing if there's anything there. If you find something, maybe hang out there. It's really like no pain, no gain when it comes to the ball, kind of like that. So you will feel a little bit of achy pain. You just decide what's too much for you, and that's okay. Good. And then I also like to roll a little onto it. So I'm lifting that opposite shoulder, giving it a little more weight. But that is where maybe it takes a little time to get there. It's okay. So we're just going to hold this for a moment. And then let's take the ball, stay on that same side. You're going to take your other hand and put it behind your head. So I think that's helpful. And we're going to take this ball behind your neck. So you could put it closer to the base of your neck, the bottom of your neck, or toward the top to the very bottom of your head. And we're just going to put the ball. You might try a couple places, see if anything is interesting. And then I like to, once I have it in a good spot, then I like to just move my head back and forth right on my hand. Sometimes I have my hand on the ball, sometimes I don't. And move the shoulder a little bit. Just takes a little practice. Now we're going to take the ball. So just first hold the ball in your hand. We're just going to take a moment to notice one side and then the other. So one side's going to feel quite a bit different, possibly, because we massaged it. And then we're going to take the ball to that opposite side between the shoulder blade and the spine. I'm going to set it there. Come onto the ball. Ooh. And then you can have your arm just down by your side. Try to soften your shoulder. Try to relax. If you, even when you're just there, it's doing a lot. You can feel that it's doing a lot. So you don't have to worry that you can't do a whole lot with the ball there. It can be quite a shock. And then we're going to bring the elbow out to the side. maybe, if it feels like a piece of cake, as I said, and maybe move the hips, but nothing is mandatory. Ooh. For me, this is my tight side because I'm a lefty. Ooh. Good. And then let's take that ball. We're going to tuck it in. So we're going to take it, tuck it into the trapezius. So we did the rhomboids. Now we're doing the trapezius. So you're tucking it in someplace interesting. Your arm can be down by your side again if it's a lot. And then if it feels pretty easy, bring that arm out to the side and then roll the ball a little to the outside toward the shoulder and then a little to the inside. So when you're doing the rhomboids, which is lower, you're going up and down. When you're doing the trapezius, you're going left to right. Good. Now, if you do decide to do this on your own and you notice one side is a lot tighter than the other, I always recommend still doing both sides. You might do the tighter side or the hurtier side more, but you don't want to do one side and then find out the other one is really super tight. Just even it out. You can do one side longer or more. Just make sure you know what's going on the other side. Okay. All right. And then we're going to take that ball. Take your other hand under your head. We're going to take the ball under the neck. Play around. Try low on the neck. It's a good spot for me right now, a low spot. Or try up at the base of the bottom of your head. So this series with the ball here can be great for preventing headaches. So you don't want to do it while you have a headache because it could make it quite a bit worse. But if you do it between headaches, if you tend to get a lot of tension headaches specifically, or even migraines, doing this between headaches can help lessen their severity. But it might actually feel a little worse before it gets better. But you definitely don't want to do this during a headache. You want to do it when you're not having one. And then maybe you'll start to notice the headaches become less frequent. Good. So a few more moments on this side. Good. Let's take that tennis ball out from underneath your head, set it aside. Good. Let's lay those shoulder blades on the floor, hands to the belly, noticing things might have evened out now. You might notice that you're flatter against the floor. And then just hug both knees in and just rock from side to side. Massaging the low back for a moment. And then bringing the legs down. Arms down by your sides. Just take a few breaths here. Make sure you're softening into the jaw. Bending into the knees. Let's roll on to one side of our body and just rest here. Let's come up to a seated position. Maybe get back on your cushion. Sitting up tall. And let's just take a moment to really soften into the shoulders now. Now that we've massaged them out, we softened into the shoulders at the beginning of our practice, still with some tension there. So maybe there's a little less. Lengthen the back of the neck by just pulling the head back, chin down slightly. Softening just a little bit more. And throughout the day today, just see if you can notice anytime you bring tension back into the shoulders. Anytime you feel a little tension and you lift those shoulders. Just see if you can notice. And when you do, you just let it go. So you're just going to be a little bit more mindful. That little teeny bit of attention is self-care. You're just going to give yourself a little bit of extra self-care today. Let's just take a few more breaths. Loving yourself more is the best place to start to solve any problem. Especially tension in the shoulders, right? Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.